this week's What Women Binge. I'm here with Amanda.
Hello.
And we have a special guest today, you guys. Zooming in, we have Lo Bosworth with us. Yay! You might know her from Laguna Beach, from the Hills, or from her many, many products and brands and wonderful like female entrepreneurship.
And if you're not following her on Instagram, you need to. It's great.
Hi, girl.
Hi, how are you both? It's such a pleasure.
Good. Thanks for being here. So are you in sunny Cal?
No, I live in New York City.
Oh,
I've
you're
been
in New York.
2012, actually.
Oh, really?
A city girl.
Oh, that's my city. That's where I was raised.
Oh, yeah. I've been in New York for such a long time. I live in Soho,
Okay.
but I think I'm moving to Gramercy, actually.
Ooh,
Right,
that's
right
fun.
by the park.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I didn't realize I'm such a New York. Have you had a bagel in a while?
You know, there's a great bagel place right by me called Pop-Up Bagels. And it's so interesting because with the way that TikTok is now, one place can have one video go viral and it completely changes their business.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It goes from just a spot in the neighborhood to a spot in the neighborhood with a line with 50 people out the door, which is so great for the business.
It's so annoying for you.
I had pop-up bagels recently, but the line that you got to wait in to get a pop-up bagel is really, it's astronomical.
So you can tell us, is it
really
worth
have
it?
to be committed to the bagel that morning.
Yeah, is it? And did you find that it was worth it? Is it worth the wait?
Oh, delicious bagels. They're just like perfect New York bagels, great cream cheese. It's
There you go. So
it's
then,
popular for.
so then you buy stock in it as soon as it goes public because like Shake Shack, like that happened with Shake Shack, right? They were in like Union Square, and like
Madison Square Park, yeah. And then
they were Madison Square Park, yeah. And then like all of a sudden, when you see that line forming, the Cronuts craze. Remember the Cronuts craze? My sisters made my stepdad wait in that line for a very long time for their Cronuts in the morning. So
yeah. The secret to a lot of these places in New York is that most of them are on delivery, and so you don't actually have to wait in the line.
Oh, that's so funny. And they probably get done first, right? They probably want to get those online orders
Yes.
out the door.
Things that I
Yeah.
should have thought of.
And that's all I do with Starbucks now. All I do is pre-order. To like today on my way here, I was like, didn't have time for lunch, went and got my like egg white feta wrap, whatever. And I was like, pre-order, walk in, grab it. I'm eating and walking out the door. Like,
So nice.
yeah, it saves so much time. But anyway, so we have so much to cover. So I have to ask you like about like the Hills, right? So what is like your number one question from fans when you run into people or when you get interviewed? Like what's the number one question? We just have to like cover that real quick.
I think that the primary question I still get asked was, "What is it real?"
So is it?
In 2024, to me, is a surprising question to get because I feel like everybody has been through the reality TV like gauntlet at this point, you know, and there has been a reality TV reckoning with Bethany Frankel leading the way. And, you know, reality has changed a lot, but I think that the Hills and Laguna have such a special place in people's hearts that they really want to believe it, you know, for like how it was presented.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But the reality is that, you know, those shows are made and produced in the same way that any reality show is. And now, you know, there's so much more insight into how that is done, and how like strategic it can be for people on the show and how manipulative like networks and directors can be. Nobody had any of that awareness. And so they still like think of it as this very special, you know,
Yeah.
thing. And it is a very special thing. You know, people hold it close in their hearts. So yeah, they want to know if it was real or not. And it was half real.
Yeah. So so it was completely unscripted though, right? So like you wouldn't get.
There were no scripts. I was not like sent a script every day.
So
But
like,
what
would they leave
happened-
hints like books laying around you should talk about, or you know things like that? A pack of condoms on the counter, and all of a sudden you're like trying to figure out whose they are.
No, they didn't really manipulate stuff like that, but it was very much like, here's the production schedule, be at this place at this time, and this is the stuff that we're going to cover today. And hey, we're going to like repo the cameras 8 times so that we get you walking in the room from 5 different angles because who knows how we're going to want to cut it, right?
Oh wow!
So in that way, it was a very like traditional, you know, like TV set
series in a way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
So you had to do numerous takes of certain things. They'd ask you to repeat things, like do that again, or can you say that again, or
can you say that again? Can you say that this way? Okay, guys, it's time to take room tone. And one of the most interesting things was they always use that room tone footage to make us look bad on TV.
Oh, wow. Because you're just standing there holding still. So for those at home that don't know, room tone is like...
there, like looking at the wall, being silent for 60 seconds so that they can get the room tone for the sound quality. And then they take that clip of you looking blank out the window and cut it in. As
Here's your RBF for this episode.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
So, you take the good with the bad.
Yeah. That's interesting. The only experience I have with something like that was probably similar was like Dancing with the Stars. They had a lot of production moments, right? So when we were rehearsing and dancing, they'd be like, oh, can you say that again? Oh, do that again. I have to get over here. Oh, wait, I wasn't rolling. Or, that kind of thing. So,
yeah.
Redos of things you said, but they want a closer, tight shot or that kind of thing. So,
well, Lo, what are you binging these days?
I'm binging an older show that had a new season last year. What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh yeah, yes.
It's one of my favorite shows.
Can you tell? I've never watched it.
Marissa is on that.
Oh, Marissa is Marissa Jarrett Winokur?
Yes.
Oh, that's our little friend.
It is the funniest. It's a mockumentary. I think that's what you call.
Yes.
I think that's what you call it. It's a mockumentary about this friend group of vampires that live in a house together on Staten Island.
Oh my gosh, I do need to watch this.
They live in like a castle kind of house.
The Ottoman Empire through present day. So they have all become vampires at different points in history, and they all live together. And it's just their funny vampire life on Staten Island. And
oh my gosh,
it's great.
They have a guy, Guillermo, who's their what's it called? A human who takes care of
like
vampires.
a butler.
Oh, okay. So how many seasons are? So you're on the last season right now, or you're mid?
Seasons. There's 5 seasons right now, and I think there's one more season coming out.
I think so. And there's a movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the show was created based off of a movie that was then adapted for television.
Oh, okay.
I think an Australian film, and it just is very, very funny.
I'm going to watch this.
I'm also binging Love on the Spectrum.
Oh, yes.
I hear that's really a wonderful show, and I have not. I swear, even though I'm in the industry,
there's not enough hours for
there's
anybody.
not enough hours to watch everything. Right now I'm all into the Oscar screeners and stuff, trying to figure out who I want to win, and trying to get my husband to sit down and watch one of those is impossible. Last night I tried to get through some episodes of this show, and I was dozing off, wake up, dozing off. And then, of course, I turn off. I'm like, forget it. I'm just going to go to sleep. Turn off the TV, pick up my phone because I have to turn. My phone is my remote control, unfortunately. So I go to turn off the TV and then I'm like, oh, I should check that text. Oh, they want to know what time. Let me check my calendar. Oh, wait.
Later.
4 hours later, I'm still on my phone. I could have watched 4 episodes of a show. And I was like, damn it. Yeah, totally. So I feel like I'm behind on all this stuff. I'm going to have to check out all this stuff.
Love on the Spectrum is really great. Very heartwarming.
There's a lot of seasons of that, right?
There's a couple seasons. They shot different seasons in different places. There's an Australia version, and then there's a US version. And there's a couple seasons of both. And some of the same people appear on the second season and come back to find love or continue on their journey for love. And it is just the most charming, heartwarming show.
I have to watch
this. It's really sweet.
Love it.
Yeah.
It's totally binge worthy.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to check that out for sure.
It's very popular.
Okay. So what about,
oh wait, no, sorry.
I was going to ask like books, podcasts, anything like that you're really into right now?
So I listen to This American Life every Sunday.
Oh, okay. Classic American of you.
Yeah, with everything going on in the world, I'm a big listener to sort of the New York Times programming. I listen to The Daily every morning, which is obvious, right? A lot of people listen to that to catch up on the news, but I love This American Life. And they had just such an interesting episode come out recently. And I'm going to butcher the description of this episode, but it was people's stories or experiences through a lens that they didn't understand. Right. And so one of the examples they gave was in Toronto, these people found a tunnel that had been built underground. And instead of the American POV, which would be oh, it's obviously a terrorist building a tunnel underground. instead the cops did a press conference and they're like, hey, we found a tunnel. Like, does anyone know anything about this tunnel? And it turns out it was just a guy who lived in the neighborhood who like lived with his mother and sister and wanted a man cave for himself. So he decided to
a literal cave.
Underground.
He built himself a cave.
He just dug himself one.
Reality of things that you wouldn't think about at first. And it was just such a great, interesting episode. I don't know.
Yeah, that's so funny.
I'm really into people's like storytelling.
Yeah, that's interesting. Awesome. I thought you were going to go a different way with that for a second. I mean, because you said, because I was in Ottawa filming a movie last year and we're looking around at all the statues, walking around the capital city, just like looking at the statues and the monuments and stuff and reading up on them like, oh, I got to read about this. I got to read about that. And there's a statue to a woman. And I was like, that's interesting. You rarely see statues to women. So I'm like, I'm going to go look at this and read the plate. And it said that she saved so many lives in the War of 1812 against the, like, she was basically like against the Americans. So she was like, she killed this many people or rescued this many of her own, like, you know, and I was kind of like, it was about how many she killed, I think.
And you're like, oh.
And I was like, oh, we were on the other side of that. Like, it was just interesting to be like, oh, yeah, that's right. Like, it must be how
there
British feel when they come over and
perspectives.
they hear about the Tea Party or something, right? That's cool. I'll have to check that out. I actually don't know that. So is this a podcast or a radio?
It's a radio show, and I guess they do have a podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, this is
NPR.
Life.
Okay.
It's public radio. I think it was on NPR.
Yeah.
Forever.
Oh, I might have been on that then. That's why I know the name.
It now plays through the New York Times app, and it's an Ira Glass show.
Okay.
It's really just about great American storytelling.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. I'm going to check that out. That sounds really, really interesting.
And I'm Ira
Glass.
Glass.
Ever. It's like a beautifully made and produced show.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I'm looking, maybe you guys have a recommendation. I'm obsessed with the British royal family, and I really want to start listening to an episode about like British royal family gossip. So do you guys have a recommendation?
Well, I always recommend not British.
Outlet to relieve my stress.
Yeah. Not necessarily British, but if you like kind of historical stuff like that, there's a podcast I'm obsessed with that I've talked about since day one on this podcast called Noble Blood, and it's basically she finds stories of emperors, empresses, kings, queens. It can be even dukes and whatnot. And basically, it's like usually about a 30-minute episode about some kind of bloody war or trauma, or like you can get into Henry VIII, or you can get into like apparently there was someone who called himself the Emperor of America. So, like,
wait, what?
Yeah, he lived in San Francisco, and there's a whole episode about him.
Oh, the brain's not with us, but I'm Googling this.
The Emperor of the United States of America, I think, was his title. Obviously, like self-proclaimed, but like people took it seriously. There's a whole episode about it. It's fascinating. They'll be like,
I just Norton.
This is totally in my wheelhouse.
I love her voice is very soothing, but doesn't put you to sleep. Like I have to say, like I love listening to her when I drive.
What is her name? You love her.
I adore her. And she has a few podcasts and books and whatnot. Hold on.
Schwartz? Is this the host?
Yes.
Yeah, Schwartz. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's honestly it's my favorite. It's like my go-to when I'm like I need something not warm and fuzzy, but reliable with good entertainment and a little bit of. I love entertainment mixed with learning. And I feel like I learn a little bit more about human history in general when I listen to this, and it's one of my absolute favorites. But as far as British goes, I don't know.
There's one called, I had to look it up what it's called because I've just turned it on now. It's called Even the Royals.
Oh.
Yeah, I want like a juicy royal podcast.
It's not, I mean, I would say it is kind of a modern viewpoint on the royal family. Sometimes they have on people who are like completely anti the patriarchy, but other times it's like gossip from the princesses are doing this, or, we've heard this about the things going on between William and Harry, and things like that. So if you're into that.
Wait, did Even the Rich? You turned me on.
Even the Rich is
Even the Rich is a
similar
podcast. Do you know this one, Lo?
No.
So they do seasons of topics. So I guess right now it looks like Back to Bennifer. So it's J-Lo and Ben Affleck. But they did Snoop and Martha. They did a few episodes of that. And then they'll throw in like, they do a Rich and Daily. So they'll throw in like a daily episode, but then they do like these sets. So there was a whole set of Dolly. So I think they did one on maybe Meghan Markle.
Let's see what season they're on now.
Oh, Prince Harry. They did a few episodes. They did 3 episodes on Prince Harry. So you'll find some stuff. They did Free Britney. So they have these topics and they go on them for a little while.
So even the Royals, it looks like there's 20 episodes up now. So you got plenty to catch up on. They've got one. My favorite one, what got me in is, it may be the very first one, is the Grace Kelly episode.
Oh.
Because
I want to hear
an
that.
American Princess, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So check that one out. I like it a lot.
Very cool.
So I normally find bras to be really uncomfortable and constricting, but I have to tell you that Skims has changed everything. I have been wearing Skims now for a year and recently just tried their bras and I am madly in love.
I will never go back. I preach the gospel of the Skims bra to legitimately every friend we talk to.
Yeah, even the underwire bras I'm wearing all day, I barely notice I'm wearing them. I don't want to take them off, like rip them off me when I first get home.
No, and historically that has been me. Like I come home, I take off my hard clothes, aka the underwire bras and the jeans, and I get into my soft stuff. But with Skims, I don't feel like I have to do that anymore.
No, and Skims is also creating the next generation of underwear and bras for every body.
And it literally fits everybody.
Yeah,
And
right
I'm
now,
telling you.
I'm actually wearing mine right now. I'm wearing my Fits Everybody push-up bra in Onyx.
Me too. I'm wearing my Fits Everybody t-shirt. Which
Yeah,
I love the push-up too, but the t-shirt bra is like it goes with everything. Y'all, I'm in pajamas right now and I have on a bra. Why? Because it makes me feel good.
But then when you take the clothes off, like date nights just got better because it's so comfortable you don't even notice you're wearing them. And then like all of a sudden you're in your sexy little, skimpies and
yeah, happy Valentine's Day to us.
right? Skims bras are made with innovative technology to give you the best shape and support.
Plus, every bra is designed with the comfiest and softest materials, so you'll feel like you're wearing nothing at all.
Yes, Skims offers a complete system of bra solutions for every need and style, and their bras are available now in 62 sizes from 30A to 46H.
It's incredible. Believe the hype. I'm telling you, we love these things. We would not tell you about them if we didn't love them. We live in them. Skims has over 100,000 five-star reviews for a reason, y'all.
Yeah, Skims bras are now available at Skims, Skims.com. Plus, you can get free shipping on orders over $75.
And if you haven't yet, be sure to let them know that we sent you. After you place your order, select podcast in the survey and select our show in the drop-down menu.
Yes, please support the podcast by letting them know that you love our podcast and you love Skims. And if you're looking for a gift for your Valentine or for yourself, Skims just launched their best Valentine shop ever, also available at skims.com. Thank you, Skims, for sponsoring What Women Binge.
Okay, so now we have to talk about Femcare.
Yes.
Because I've never heard that term before, and I'm obsessed. I think it's so cool. Femcare. And
Femcare actually is a term that has been around for a while. It is a term that I think historically has been used more like by industry people who work in consumer products to describe what you traditionally think of as like the tampon aisle, right?
Right.
And so at Love Wellness, which is the company, that I founded back in 2016, we make actually effective femcare products. And what we mean by that is that femcare is more than period care. We know that feminine health starts actually in your gut. Gut health regulates and supports vaginal health and hormonal health. And so we focus on the gut, the vagina, and hormones when it comes to femcare. And we are a very science-forward femcare company. And so we make our products with unapologetically high ingredient standards. So that means no fragrance in our femcare. That means no essential oils. That means no sugar in any of our vitamins. The amount of sugar that is in a gummy vitamin will horrify you.
I use them for dessert as opposed to actually what they're for in a lot of cases. I'll be like, dessert, I'll have some gummy vitamins.
And so, in order to take care of your gut vagina hormones, your products really need to be made to be biome positive, which means supporting your different microbiomes in and on your body. And those ingredients that we purposefully do not include in our ingredients, in our opinion, are microbiome disruptors, endocrine disruptors, irritants. And so we're one of the only femcare brands that makes, these types of products, whether it's, a vaginal suppository, a vaginal probiotic, a gut health probiotic, what have you, through this lens, right? Of science forward, very limited ingredients. And that is what makes our products work so well.
How did you get educated on that? Like, is this something?
I am a freaking science nerd. So I was hoping you were going to ask me what I'm binging from a book perspective.
Yeah. Tell us.
Mary Roach is my favorite writer. She's like the best science writer in America. And she writes books about everything from like cadavers to how food gets digested in your body. And it's just fascinating. And I think it gives an insight into who I am as a person and why I started a wellness business. When I started the company, I was really sick. I was depressed. I was anxious. I kept getting yeast infections and UTIs. And it took 18 months for my general practitioner to even order just a blood test to try to understand what was going on beneath the surface. As women, I think we're gaslit in the medical community often, right? I'm
For
sure
sure.
you've experienced that.
Mm-hmm.
You have a complaint. It's like, oh, you're just stressed. You're just tired.
It's just anxiety.
Yeah. So it turns out that I was dealing with really, really severe vitamin deficiencies. And it was a reflection of an underlying gut health issue that I think came about because of lifestyle and environment, right? Like I'm the antibiotic generation, took an antibiotic for every earache, sore throat, etc. We're eating preserved foods every day. The air that we breathe, the water that we drink, everything has contaminants, irritants, etc. in it, and it's making us sick and it's affecting our microbiome health. And so it definitely took me a while to kind of do the research and start to connect the dots. And I did this with the support of really fantastic forward-thinking medical practitioners, OBGYNs, endocrinologists, gastroenterologists that really helped me form my kind of perspective or like POV on women's health and what a brand would need to be to actually like change the status quo in the category, right?
So where did it start exactly? Like, give me the exact, like, so you told us like kind of why you went to the doctor, right? You said why you went, you were having some issues, but like what's the first thing you thought of and you wanted to like create and then who's the first person you got like to do the work with you? Like, how did something like this start?
Yeah. So this is gross for the guys in the studio.
Oh, they can handle it.
At work all the time. So I was getting yeast infections, which is like gross, but like prescriptions weren't working. And my OBGYN, I was seeing a great doctor at the time. And she was like, you know what? We're going to go old school. Let's try a boric acid suppository. And I was like, what's that?
Wow.
Say that again. A what suppository?
Boric?
A
boric acid. Okay.
And so a boric acid suppository is a single ingredient suppository, but back then you'd have to take that prescription and go to your compounding pharmacy and have it made with that single ingredient with like a medical grade boric acid. And it took me a few days and hundreds of dollars to get them like in my hands, right? And so that experience was highly inefficient and highly inaccessible for most people. But the suppository worked so well at supporting overall vaginal health pH levels that I thought, wouldn't it be incredible if a product like this was more readily available and accessible and affordable? And this was in like 2015 when I was like dealing with these health issues. And so I started to do research to that point, right? And worked with a doctor, who helped to develop the first version of our boric acid. You get a great contract manufacturer on board to manufacture you the product. You go through, established, testing, clearances, et cetera.
That's got to be a long process, right? Because it's
product to market. Yeah. But yeah, I started the company by myself out of my living room. In terms of like, I was a solo founder and operator. 8 years later, we're 45 people. We're available at Target, Walmart, Ulta, nationwide.
Wow.
Like different parts of the store. So it goes to show what, some research on behalf of women's health really can do.
You're like a current day Madame Curie in a way. Like you're like, I feel like you're like, making things more available and
Changing the world.
educating people on.
That's so
That's
great.
amazing. That's truly amazing. So it's called Love
Yeah.
Wellness, right?
Love Wellness.
And
yes.
I'm looking at the website right now. I just love that right now the pop-up is a Poop Better sale. There's a Poop Better sale right now.
Yeah, so we make a lot of vaginal health products, but we also make a lot of gut health products because remember, gut health regulates and helps to support vaginal health, right? Your gut microbiome is connected to your vaginal microbiome. The bacteria in your gut, you can imagine them like texting the bacteria in your vagina. It's called quorum sensing. That's the scientific term.
Wow.
And if your gut bacteria are healthy and like populating well, they literally send little messages down to your vaginal microbiome to tell those bacteria to behave in the same way.
What?
Yeah. And your vagina is actually an immunity organ. I'm sure you guys hear about like vaginal pH levels. It's kind of like a keyword, over the past few years. And it's because your vaginal pH, which in the healthy range for a vagina is acidic, 3.8 to 4.2, helps to prevent the overgrowth of bad bacteria, yeast, STDs, etc. And it's your vaginal microbiome that regulates your vaginal pH. And so you can understand like how upstream gut health
It all
comes
connects.
Yeah. Did you go to school for any of? Did you have to like get a degree in pharmaceutical? Like how involved is this whole process, or did you just learn by default by like wanting to do this one product and then it just grew and you educated yourself and you talked to people? Like how did that happen?
Yeah, more of the latter. I went to UCLA, so my undergraduate degree is from UCLA. I always wanted to be a doctor, and so again, like I have deep interest in the subject matter. But my childhood television career happened instead. And so, the reality is that a lot of this research is widely available. And if you have an interest in a topic, you can go do that research, right?
That's amazing.
And so that's really what it's come down to. But I will say we have always had an incredible medical advisory board from day one that helps to guide our product innovation, ingredients that we select. We're putting all of our products through clinical trials this year. So we're going to have, clinical results that we get to share with our customers this year, which is really, really exciting. It's really interesting, right? Because you think it's the job of like a big pharma company or a university to do clinicals and to do all of this research. But when it comes to women's health, there is a major research gap.
Wow.
And it is starting to become the responsibility of women's wellness companies to do the research and provide the clinicals themselves, right? And like at this point, that's what customers are asking of us. And so that's what we're doing. And our hope is that, all of these results are extremely validating in the category and like really help to move the needle when it comes to women's wellness, not only in the United States, but internationally.
Yeah, that's
Because
fascinating.
ultimately, right, like that's where we would like to go.
Well, I'm going to start. I'm
I know. I'm like placing my order on the website right now.
I mean, I see the boric acid suppositories right there. Hey, Amanda, did you know that 60% of our bodies are made out of water?
I did know that.
So if you're like me, you probably don't trust your tap water and you might want to find another solution. And you know what that is?
What is it?
It's AquaTrue.
Oh.
Having safe, clean water is the last thing you want to worry about. But unfortunately, according to extensive research by the Environmental Working Group, 3 out of 4 homes in America have harmful contaminants in its tap water.
And we obviously want our kids to grow up strong and healthy.
Yes, and being hydrated is super important to me. You want the kids to be healthy. You want to stay hydrated. I work out a lot. You work out a lot. We sweat a lot. You want to stay hydrated, and it's super important. That's why you got to check out AquaTrue. AquaTrue purifiers use a 4-stage reverse osmosis purification process, and their countertop purifiers work with no installation or plumbing.
They have water purifiers to fit every type of home, from installation free, like you said, countertop purifiers to higher capacity under sink options. They even have a Wi-Fi connected purifier with a mineral boost option.
Yeah, AquaTrue removes 15 times more contaminants than ordinary pitcher filters and are specifically designed to combat chemicals like PFAS in your water supply.
That's so interesting. And the filters are affordable. They last a long time. There's no changing them every 2 to 3 months. The AquaTrue filters last from 6 months to 2 years.
That's a good amount of time. I love that. Just one set of filters from the classic purifier makes the equivalent of 4,500 bottles of water. That's less than 3 cents a bottle. Plus, you'll save the environment from tons of plastic waste, which you know I love.
Yes, I do.
Well, AquaTrue comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee and even makes a great gift. So today, our listeners will receive 20% off any AquaTrue purifier. Just go to aquatrue.com. That's AQUATRU.com and enter code WWB at checkout.
That's right. 20% off any AquaTrue water purifier when you go to aquatrue.com and use the code WWB.
Thank you, AquaTrue, for being a sponsor of What Women Binge. But I wanted to ask you real quick, personally, starting to step into, because, okay, so are you 37? Is that?
30. Yes, I'm 37.
So you and Amanda are I saw it on Wikipedia. You and Amanda are the same age. I'm 10 years older. But, well, back me up real quick. So you did the Hills from when to when and Laguna Beach from when to when? Like, how old were you?
Yeah, so Laguna, we filmed my senior year of high school, and then it debuted on TV my freshman year of college. So that was like 2004, 2005, 2006. And then I was at UCLA, was asked to do The Hills after that show had been on for maybe 2 seasons. And so basically my time, spent in the industry was 2004 to about 2010, 2011.
Okay.
I moved to New York in 2012. Yeah. Wow.
Okay. So, and then you started the company in technically 2016, but you were researching it in 2015.
Yeah. I mean, I was dealing with my own illness, 2014, 2015, 2016, and searching for a lot of answers. And there was not a lot of good information out there, in terms of what I was dealing with and struggling with. But, in hindsight, and anecdotally to a certain degree, all of the symptoms I were dealing with were connected. It wasn't obvious that they were connected, but they were, because they all point back to a gut health issue, right? Because depression and anxiety, when you're not able to get the nutrients you need, can be reflective of a gut health issue, because if you have a gut health issue, you may not be absorbing all the nutrients you need from your food.
Right.
And the deficiencies that I had were B and D deficiencies, which very much
I was about to ask if it was a D deficiency.
The neurological symptoms that I was experiencing. So, I had to play detective, but when you have all the clues and you finally put the pieces of the puzzle together, it's very easy to see the picture.
So can you be detective for me real quick? Because I'm like stepping into the perimenopause phase here, and I'm starting to feel these like little rage moments, like reflective of like adolescence rage. Like, I feel like
hormone surges.
Yeah. Teen spirit is coming back. So every once in a while I just get, and I have I had a kind of a hormone pill, thanks to my husband. He was like, here, you should take this. And I don't know if it's placebo effect or what, but I would take it and be like, I'm calmer. But like, I wasn't. Like, I like, it might just be placebo effect. But like, I see you have these. So when you go to hormone under your lovewellness.com, you have like mood pills, big brain probiotics. That's all kind of daily love. Can you like, what would you guide me to if like my number one kind of thing right now seems to be my like mood swings?
Yeah. So, Daily Love is our 25 plus ingredient multivitamin. And I would say that it is great for somebody who is starting to kind of enter perimenopause. I think like in menopause, a different kind of formula would be perhaps more helpful for you. But the types of ingredients that are in Daily Love, I think really support that kind of transition into perimenopause. Okay. And there's a lot of herbal ingredients in our multivitamin that is not like a, traditional like nutrient, right? Or like mineral, but ingredients like chasteberry root or St. John's wort, things like that have been, used in different cultures for thousands of years to support, women's hormone balance. And, the research is out there, right? A lot of these ingredients actually have been clinically studied to support perimenopause, menopause, and, the symptoms of those things. And so I think what's great about Daily Love is that it's really more than a multivitamin because of the botanicals that we put in. Those botanicals help to support a balanced body through the hormonal lens.
Is there probiotic in it as well? Does it do, or is that separate?
There's not probiotics in Daily Love, but we make a separate probiotic products.
Okay.
It's hard to make an everything pill because you have to put so many ingredients and the pill would be so big.
Well, and I get nervous about because I take magnesium sometimes at night, and then I'm like, I was having a surgery recently, or I forget what I was having, maybe like a colonoscopy, I don't know. But they were like, don't take magnesium before this. And I was like, oh, so I get so scared of mixing things. If I take more than one pill, I'm like, I don't know if I should be mixing this with that, because I think we used to take potassium and magnesium together, and now you're not, or so, I don't know, something like that, where I get I don't know if I'm doing this right.
Well, that's actually really important to highlight. And, as a company that makes supplements, we always impress upon people that, before you start a new product or start a new routine, you should talk to your doctor about it, right? I think that supplements can feel really harmless because they're everywhere, but every body is different. And going to your doctor and being like, hey, this is what I'm interested in taking, I think is a really, really important part of creating a new routine, right? I didn't know that you shouldn't take magnesium before you get a colonoscopy.
I don't know. It's not that. It's something, I forget what it is.
Right. And
I had a facial the other day, one of those PRP facials. Maybe it was that. I don't know, because it would make you bleed too much, or it would make you, I forget. There was something where they were like, don't take, and I was like, I'm not going to take magnesium for a few days before I do this.
I love my magnesium.
I can't remember what it was though. Oh, no. I had a chest x-ray too, because I had some phlegm issues, and I thought I might have I don't know, some serious issue. But I forget what it was, but it was something I did that was kind of, not a big deal. But there was
ibuprofen. Oftentimes you shouldn't take blood thinners before you get big laser work done or anything, because they're worried about
maybe that was it. It was something like that.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Again, it's important to talk to your doctor about this stuff because they know your medical history, and everybody is different, right?
Yeah. I mean, I just had my mammogram, so
got to do it. Get the squish.
We got to do these things. So we have 10 questions we usually ask, we have 10 questions. We're technically, this is the first episode of our 10th season. We're going to ask you some questions, but because it's our 10th season, we wanted to do something fun, and we're bringing back a question from each season before. So actually it's 9 questions because there's only been 9 seasons. So we're going to ask you 9 of these questions that we've had previously, just to see, just to have some fun. All right. Is there a movie that you feel you should have watched, but you haven't yet?
The new Napoleon movie.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I did. I saw that poster in the theater, and I was like, I got to see that movie. I still haven't. That's a good point.
And I love the royal history, so
yeah,
that's on my list.
Oh, have you ever watched the TV show Versailles?
Yes.
Oh, so good.
Wait,
I love it.
It's too violent and brutal for you.
Oh, I can't watch that one.
Yeah, a lot of rape and murder until the 3rd season.
Well,
when
I
it gets
think the
into
new
Catholicism.
Napoleon movie is that too, right?
Yeah,
so
probably.
I probably can't watch that one.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Is there a TV villain that you love to hate?
Love to hate.
Could it be someone on your show? I don't know.
Show.
I just ran into Whitney Port the other day, by the way. Did you guys have a good relationship on the show? Was that
Yeah, it was great. I haven't seen her in a long time, but it's funny. I think, the person I love to hate is any host of a competitive reality show. I always am like, you're in on it.
Like Wayne Brady?
You're setting them up.
So anyone that gets the job of hosting a competitive reality show is always the person that I'm like,
that's funny.
I'm watching you.
It's a good thing Mayim Bialik is backed out of Jeopardy then, I guess.
Oh, I love Jeopardy, but I am a Ken Jennings fan.
Jeopardy is not in that category, okay?
I don't
Wayne
know.
Brady's too sweet and goofy.
During the strike, Ken wrote all of the questions.
Oh, really?
Yes, because they couldn't have writers.
That's why they kept him?
Yeah.
Over her,
so.
right? Wasn't there? I don't know. There was some kind of drama there.
So, I mean, he is kind of in on it.
Oh, he is technically.
He is the villain.
But Will Ferrell playing a game show host in the Jeopardy game show host in
so good.
Saturday Night Live is the best thing ever. Do you have a favorite book genre?
Yeah, I like science.
Yeah, you already said that, didn't you?
I would point you back to anything written by Mary Roach.
Mary Roach. I gotta write that down.
Of putting storytelling around science.
I like that. Have you ever read Comfort Crisis?
No.
I am obsessed. I just finished it. My husband and I just finished it. I mean, I've been talking about it on this podcast for a long time, but I finally finished it. I kind of waited on the last few chapters, but it's just interesting to me. It's not necessarily science-based. It's just a guy exploring how we've gotten to what he calls the comfort creep, where we've slowly become more and more, all we do is try to make ourselves more comfortable.
It's more psychology than
Sort of. Well, he goes out caribou hunting in the Arctic as his misogi, because a misogi is supposed to be like you're only 50% sure you can actually accomplish what the mission you're out after. And so he's like, he kind of intertwines with this like caribou hunt, but he goes to see the Dalai Lama and learn about it's really interesting. And I mean, he talks about everything from diet to exercise to lifestyle to keeping our thermostat at the right, I don't know. I've been talking about it on here for a long time, but I'm obsessed. But
I'm literally on Amazon hitting buy now right now.
Yeah, I tried to get it at the library, but it was like a way long backlist, so I just did the audiobook.
All right, mine's coming in a day and a half.
There you go. There you go. And then he's got another one. I haven't read that one yet, but the scarcity brain. But I love all that. But I'm going to check out your Mary Roach girl too.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have? Oh, what's your go-to karaoke song?
Oh, probably anything Taylor Swift or Madonna. Probably Madonna, like Papa Don't Preach.
Oh, so you're taking it back with Madonna.
I feel like I don't hear a lot of Madonna.
Collection from my youth,
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Madonna.
See, I would go like Ray of Light Madonna.
I would do like La Isla Bonita and pretend I can speak Spanish.
Okay.
Is there a reboot that you liked better than the original? If you say Sabrina, I'll slap you. No, I'm just kidding.
I would never say such a thing. Is there a reboot I like better than the original? Next question. I'm going to think
Next
about that.
question. Okay. First concert.
My first concert was No Doubt.
Oh,
That's
what a great
one.
What
Coming
album
from
do you know?
Southern California, I am a major No Doubt fan.
Well, it's
and
so
also
funny.
Sublime, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh my God,
Like, that's my wheelhouse.
You literally just named all the. It's so funny. Whenever I talk about, so like in the gym the other day, we were talking about like choosing your songs when you're working out. And I was like, well, I always go Beastie Boys, but I'm from New York. Or something. I never really knew Dolly Parton until I moved to Tennessee. I'd never heard the song Jolene.
Unbelievable.
I was like, I knew 9 to 5, but that's it. But like up in New York, you get the Beastie Boys, you get Bruce Springsteen, you get Billy Joel. You move to LA, you get Red Hot Chili Peppers, Sublime. Those are always my examples. That's so funny. No Doubt is always on the radio there still, right? Like
I love No Doubt.
mixed with like a little Tupac maybe. What would you like your epitaph to say?
Did her best.
Oh, that's so cute.
she did
Her best.
And
We'll just go with that.
can we go back to the reboot? Is there a reboot that you feel like, or a show you feel like they shouldn't have rebooted? Maybe.
The Hills 2.0. You should have just let that one lie.
That's so good.
All right, we have a few this or that questions to ask you. Amanda will ask you those.
Okay. Rose or froze?
Rose.
Or neither. It could be neither.
Neither? Yeah, neither.
Neither.
Read the book or watch the movie.
Read the book.
Drive or be driven.
Drive.
Even though you live in New York?
Well, I'm thinking about.
No, I agree. When I lived in New York, it was actually my favorite thing to do was to drive in New York.
Yeah, I mean, I have a car here, but I don't drive so frequently that like it's a pleasure to drive.
I think if you can drive the streets of New York City, you can survive anywhere. I really believe that.
100%. Yeah.
That's probably true. Yeah. Brunch or happy hour.
Happy hour.
Spotify or Apple Music.
Spotify.
Nice. Well, that's it. That's what. Oh, wait, we have to ask you one question.
You got your phone in front of you.
We got
I
in
assume.
trouble because we missed a few episodes. We forgot to ask people this question, and our listeners were very upset with us. So if you have your phone in front of you and you look at your mail emoji or your whatever you call it, little
Email.
app, your email little app, and it's got that little red dot of how many unread you got there. Tell us what that number says, if you would, so we can judge you.
15,427.
Oh,
Team Amanda.
You're Amanda's peoples.
We're very,
unread
very good.
text messages and 944 missed calls.
944 missed calls?
She beat me on phone calls.
Lo, do you want me to come up there and help you?
No, don't let
No,
her
I
Lo.
don't want to talk to anybody is the thing.
No, but I just want to help you clear it out.
She is my people.
I just want to help you clear it out.
Let her be who she is.
Wait, you said you have 45 people working in your account. Can we get one just to clear your email?
No. Love her for who she is.
The Slack me. Send me a Slack. Or maybe text me and maybe I'll respond. But like,
good to know.
I'm not the easiest gal to get a hold of.
Let's see. Oh, but that's good to know. Let's see if Amanda, what are you at?
Okay, the emails are at 37,385.
So she's got you beat, Lo. So
Yeah.
I'm at 86.
Text messages, I only got 6 missed.
I have 28, but I think that's why we've been sitting here.
And missed phone calls right now is at 306.
What? I have 3 and it's making me crazy that I haven't called those people back.
I don't know what to tell you. My life is grand.
Oh, you
I
guys
have no regrets.
Scare me. I feel like I would probably need to be like, I have to go to a retreat for a week just to clear this stuff out. The little red dots get me.
You know what? There's always just mark red.
Oh my God.
It's all good.
I know, but what if you miss? I'm so afraid of missing something.
I don't miss things.
You don't understand. I'll go back to emails. I think I went back to an email from 2 years ago and I apologize profusely. I am so sorry. I just saw this. I will read the script right away if it's still available. I hate doing that. Ugh. But
Do you feel like you miss anything from your email box?
Yeah. Every day.
but on purpose, right? Like you see it's all there, but you're not like
I mean, I don't know. I have a complicated relationship with my email inbox. The reality is that I think that all email is now spam. And so like with work, we use Slack. We use like different platforms to communicate with each other because everybody's email address gets sold the day you create it. Right. So like the amount of spam I have in my inbox, it's basically just a dumpster fire in there. So like we do all of our workflow like on Slack.
Oh, that's amazing. All right. I'm going to have to see, but that's the thing too. So because I got the 3 kids and they're all in sports, I have an app called Band and that's for the football team. Then I have Team Reach and that's just for lower school basketball. Then I have Group Me, which now has freshman moms and flag football, and then I have Game Changer, and then everybody wants me to check my DMs and Instagram. I'm like, I can't do all these things. Like they're like, why aren't you back on Twitter? Why haven't you gone on Facebook? I can't do these things.
You have 2 places to get in touch with me usually, and that is through my email. If you text me, I will respond.
You text very quickly, actually.
I will respond.
And you DM. Oh no, I was DMing you last night late, and one of our friends was like on it, like responding to me immediately.
Yes, and I will check my email multiple times a day. But if you call me, I'm likely not going to answer.
Thanks.
Sorry. I mean, I will answer for you.
Don't call her. You can call me.
Don't call me.
I'll answer because I feel guilty.
I mean, I don't pick up a lot. It's just like, I don't know.
There's like a handful of people in the world that I want to talk on the phone to.
I know, but if they're calling you, they love you and they need you.
Or they want to sell me car insurance.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. I mean, for my circle, of course, I answer those texts. I pick up those phone calls. I make outbound phone calls, as a matter of fact, and send outbound texts. But like, I just get I'm just like, I can't. Truly, to protect my peace, I just have to like exist within.
I love that.
That scope of people, which I'm sure it's the same for you.
Yes. I respect that. I totally respect that. I'm trying to be better about like telling people I work with and whatnot, because I feel like everyone expects you to just be always available. And, you know, at night, sometimes I get bored. I'm watching the football game with my family and I like want to scroll through, you know, like I don't want to sit there. So I'll like dig a little too much. But for the most part, I want to be like 6 o'clock done. Like, don't call me. Don't write. Like, that's when I'm sitting at dinner. That's when I'm chilling. That's when I'm coming down. Like, I kind of always wished I had a 9 to 5 just so I could be like, this is the time I'm done with work. But these days, nobody's got a 9 to 5. Nobody's done with work, right? You were always.
Oh, I pretty much stop working at 5. Unless we're having a crisis, I stop because, like, as a wellness business, like, we practice balance. So, like,
I need to come work for a wellness business.
I know.
You should do
I'm
retreats.
so impressed by.
Can we do
company?
like monthly retreat, like come for a month and like it's like a boot camp in wellness?
Oh, nice.
Will you make us healthy?
We like have great work from home policies, lots of vacation time. Like as the founder of the company, I basically have like established like what our culture is, and our culture is balance.
So if SAG strikes again, can I come work for you?
100%.
All right. Awesome. Well, thank you so
Throw you on
much.
that Instagram and on that TikTok.
Yeah, exactly. You let me know. Well, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate you giving us so much great info and chilling with us and giving us some inside dirt into the hills.
Tell everybody where they can find your products and you.
Yep. So Love Wellness is on Love Wellness on all social media, lovewellness.com, or you can find it at your local Target, Walmart, or Ulta.
Amazing. Yay. Lo Bosworth,
I'm so
thank
excited.
you for being
Y'all, I've
here.
literally made like a shopping cart.
Oh, I'm about
As
to.
we've been sitting here, I'm like, oh, I want that.
As soon as we say goodbye, I am shopping. So thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Everyone go check out Love Wellness.
Thanks, everybody.
Women at what? Woman at binge.